I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd Places going viral. You're up, Josh.
All right. So I put up a post yesterday, Banks, and I kind of posed the question about rights versus responsibilities as a citizen of this country, of the US. What are your thoughts on that? What is our responsibility as a citizen, and yeah, I guess rights versus responsibilities. What are our rights and what are our responsibilities here,
Okay.
especially in the midst of everything going on?
Okay. We're gonna have to define rights and responsibilities. So let's start with rights. Your right to, let's say, bear arms. Okay, that's a right
Right.
in the Constitution to
Right.
bear arms. Uh, so you have a right to you have a right to vote, or is that a privilege? I mean, I'm not sure I understand exactly
That's,
what a right is.
So there are fundamental rights, I suppose, like you're saying. We have the right to free speech. We have a right to bear arms. Things like voting. I think that kind of falls on not everyone gets to vote. If you're a criminal, I suppose that gets revoked,
Right. Right.
or you lose that right. Um, that's a good question, because almost see everything as a privilege. To be honest, like I feel grateful to even have these quote unquote rights. Okay. I don't like the word right, I suppose, just because I like the word privilege, because I see it as um, having a right is almost like no matter what I do, I deserve it. Right? Isn't
Ah,
that kind of like I could be the worst citizen in the entire country, but I still deserve this, this, and this, and this. And you know what?
right.
No, I think it needs to be earned. I
Yeah,
think I think
you're talking about entitlement. I'm entitled. A right gives me, makes me
what's the
entitled.
difference? What's the difference between a right and an entitlement?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know. Um, so, so then what you lay heavy on is it.
So let me put this in context.
Okay.
I posted some things that I was unhappy about with our government, and people got on my case a little bit, which I don't mind. Nothing. It doesn't offend me. I just thought it was curious that isn't it my responsibility as a citizen to speak up when I feel there's something wrong? Like, things I said were not polite. They weren't necessarily nice, but they were genuine and they were areas of concern. So I brought them up, and I'm like, but how come? Why get it? Why be attacked for that? Isn't this our responsibility as citizens to raise
Speak
the
up.
flag,
Right.
speak
Right.
up?
To speak up. To be transparent, I did see part of that post. Yeah, it got a little contentious at times.
I thought it was great. I loved everyone's input into it. So
All right, all right. So you think, as a citizen of this country, U.S. of A., that it is our responsibility to speak up. It's our responsibility to go, hey, something's not right here. I have a suggestion. Okay, so let's say we all did that. All 315 million, I think, of us, everybody. If we
plus,
all did that, uh, there would be a lot of people raising their hands, right? They're saying,
yeah,
all right, so I mean, this is what we're doing right now. Basically, you and I are doing the same thing. We're just raising our hands and saying, hey, here's a responsibility. I'd like to say this, or I'd like to share this, or create this, or whatnot. All right, I'm gonna be advocate. Devil's advocate.
okay.
If everybody did it, then there would be just way too much noise. There you go. If everybody,
Because there's not too much noise now.
okay, all right. So let me just throw it in a curve, one curve, and that is, if you feel our responsibility is to speak up, I agree. I agree with that 100%. However, if you do speak up, you have to be responsible for what you say. Do you see my point? So it's
Okay,
freedom of speech. However, what you say, you have to be responsible for. Like, I've said this,
right.
and and I've got okay, I said this, I might have not thought my way through it, and I might be wrong, or I might have lied, or I might have whatever.
Right.
You have to take responsibility for raising your hand and saying
100%.
it.
100%. Absolutely. And that's why I said what I said was very genuine. It wasn't just to inflame people. It wasn't just to piss anyone off. It was, this is what I feel is going wrong.
Mhm.
And I wanted to bring awareness. That's really the key. I'm not here. I don't want to tell anyone what to think. In fact, if you saw the post, you notice I gave 2 action items. I only remember the second one because that's the one you always talk about. But I think the first one was, I can't remember the first one. The second one was vote. The second one was vote.
Yeah.
Please go. I don't even care what you vote for or how you vote for it, or just make your voice heard. That's our responsibility in this country, is to go. And that's one way to say what you want to say, right? By voting.
Right. You say it, and the voting is an action. So you say, yeah.
It's your voice. Voting is your voice.
Yeah, you brought up a point, and that is awareness. Okay, so if
Yes.
you, Josh, stayed at home and what was going on in the world, you just kept your mouth shut, and you were like, forget it. I don't want to say anything. You are bringing awareness to a topic, an idea, something that is wrong. I'm responsible. I want to say something and change it. Now, by doing that, you did come up with 2 actions. What else? What else can you do? I mean, how do you get these people? And it was a totally contentious. They were, you got people all over the place. How do you get them to come together? I mean, I do this with no assumptions. I try to find a way to bring the people together.
Yeah, see, that wasn't the purpose. And my purpose wasn't to bring people together, because people have different viewpoints of view. They're coming from different places. That's not the point. The point was to have a civil conversation. The point was, say your piece also, and let's have this discussion. And if we don't agree at the end, that's okay. But at least don't be silent. To me, I think silence is the killer of a democracy. I think silence is what's going to kill us. It's when we allow things to happen that shouldn't be happening, that we don't speak out, we don't make our voices heard. Banks, how many people don't vote that should, of voting age? It's ridiculous how many people, there's more people that don't vote than do in our country. That is a problem.
Yeah, from my understanding, the eligible voters usually every 4 years is in the 55% range. So more people vote than that do not vote. However, on off years, it's abysmal. It is 30s, 20s. I get it. How do we make it so that people want to vote? I mean, you're doing it. You're bringing awareness to it.
Yes, but by fostering discussions, right? By getting people out of their comfort zone to think a little bit, to have these discussions, to maybe even go afterwards. Maybe a seed got planted and it germinates over a few weeks, and like, you know what? Yeah, I can kind of see the other side now. I can kind of see, maybe I should consider. It's just getting people thinking. Remember, we talked about thinking, just getting people thinking, thinking and speaking. And hey, this whole conversation, I told you, it fostered me. I actually wrote an entire broken word piece because of it. So now that's going to go out there, and that's going to influence or make people think. So who knows the ripple effects of what that one little post was? Hopefully it's going to be huge, and I'm going to keep speaking my voice.
Right. Which is, we only have like a minute. Speaking your voice, that's good. How about listening your voice?
Listening my voice?
Yeah. I'm kind of just, I'm taking out speaking and I'm putting in listening. How do you then listen a voice? I'm trying to take.
Like listen to my voice?
No. How do you, most of us want to bring awareness, so we're responsible and we're saying, hey, this is the problem. Hey. How many of us are going, I got something to say, and you know what? I'm going to sit back and listen to you all.
That's the beauty of, like, for example, the post yesterday, every single comment that came through, I read. I wanted to hear their feedback, because 2 things. I want to hear their voice, but I also want to hear their interpretation of my voice. I wanted to know how I was coming across.
Right.
Because some of them have some good points. Like they said some things, I'm like, but that's not what I meant. So maybe I said it wrong. Maybe I should have. So I love that. That's good. That's the purpose of conversation.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
That's what I love about it. So yeah.
I'm Banks.
I'm Josh. Odd Places going viral.
Viral.
In a
Cool.
good way.
Yes.